it's a corporation and you are a citizen / member of a corporation, there's nothing for you to be but a employee / servant.
If the investigation was over, prosecutors told her it was ongoing, and the two sides could not agree. Hunter Biden was at risk of additional charges if he tripled.
Wa salam, my brothers and sisters. This is War Smith with the Black News Network. This is from the desk of the Emissary. I bring you the Black News Network, featuring the War Report. I do not own the rights to the music, but I do own the rights to what I say. I decided to move it up to 6 o'clock, close to 6 as I can get, to talk about a few more things. It's a crisis at the border. You know, Governor Abbott deployed buoys in the water, and then he put concertina wire, barbed wire, on the banks on the U.S. side down, between Mexico and here. Many people have died because of that barbed wire. Many people have drowned because of those buoys. And Governor Abbott sits there like, I ain't did nothing wrong. The federal government has initiated a lawsuit against him just for what he has done down there at the border. Now that's Texas for you. We didn't want to let the slaves go when it was time, and now we're trying to keep everybody out. We bought that land from Mexico, right? A long time ago. So now you can't come over here if you ain't coming through the gate. That's what America is saying. Today in the news, there was a crane in New York that collapsed. It killed 12 people. Now, this crane is at least 30, 40 stories high. And you got people up on that crane that usually go up on an elevator, but there was a fire on top of the crane. It is so dangerous to be doing damn near anything these days. Just a couple of civil announcements before I start yapping about everything. There's going to be a event honoring a civil rights warrior, Mr. John Inman. It's a civil rights warrior honoring where they're going to unveil his plaque, Mr. John Ingram, on July 29th at 10 a.m., Mount Zion Church, 333 Martin Luther King Drive. It's a historical marker that they are going to unveil. So if you know John Ingram, or if you have the time, please show up at Mount Zion on July 29th at 10 a.m. And I have one more. Start your business in person on the spot, July 31st and till August 1st. Well, 2 days, and August 1st. It's 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Holiday Inn SeaWorld, 10135 State Highway. So if you're interested in starting a business, this is one of the things you can do. You can go to this event and learn how to do it. And a good friend of mine is doing it. So he's talking about 214s and all that stuff you need as a veteran to get your business started, but you can do it in one day. That's the beauty of what's happening here with Sid. So if you find the time, go over and take a look at that and try to start your business if you want to. I mean, it's just a good thing to do. 7,500 people die every year from walking across the street. Now, well, they say 7,500 pedestrians. That's how many died in 2022. How in the hell that many people get hit by cars all through the day and all through the night, all over the country? You know, I'm not going to say I'm not going to get hit by a car, but I think you see most of them coming, don't you? So it's kind of hard to believe that many people die from crossing the street. In Dayton, Ohio, all the way to Chicago, there's an air warning because Canada is on fire. I don't know if they've contained those fires or not, but Canada is burning up like hell. And the smoke is coming to America. So right now, from Dayton, Ohio, all the way to Chicago, you got a plume of smoke, making the air quality pretty damn bad. Now, if you have asthma or something like that and you live in that area, you're going to have some problems breathing. So I would highly recommend to stay indoors if you have any respiratory issues. July is the month where 53 immigrants died in the back of a tractor trailer. In San Antonio, they all were dead when they opened that door. But you got to be in a certain desperation of life to get in the back of a tractor trailer and lock the damn door, let them lock the door on you and not have a way out. It's sickening to know that many people have to die every year from trying to cross the border. And the numbers are increasing because the border patrols are told don't give them water. That's cruel and unusual punishment, America. Give those immigrants water. It's 100 degrees. There's a heat wave going across the country. Everywhere you go, it's 100 degrees. It is hot outside. You can go outside under a shade tree and stand still. You still gonna break a sweat. You know, most of the politicians in the Senate, I'm going to talk Republican Senate, are rich, got millions of dollars. The 90% of them got $1 million or more. And they got that money based on their ancestral donations, and they played it forward from the slave days to now. Now, speaking of that, you know, January 1st, 1863, Abraham Lincoln enacted the Emancipation Proclamation. That meant that the slaves were free. They can come off the plantation. But that created a problem because the United States government at that time told the slave owners in the South, in the southern states, that they would be compensated $100 per slave. Can you believe that? The United States government told the slave owners in the South that they would be compensated. Now, it's in one of the 4 Emancipation Proclamations that were written. So there's 4 of them. Don't think just one, there are 4. One talks about compensation. One talks about modification. You know, people tried to kill it, but they couldn't kill it in Congress. So the last one which is the one about compensation, says that the United States ain't paying nobody shit. They say, I ain't paying shit. They said they will not be paying no money to the slave owners. So that's what they did. They didn't pay them anything. So when they didn't pay them, that puts us as black people in a particular category, because look at, this is how it works. Emancipation freed the slave. The Compensation Emancipation Proclamation said that we owe you this, but we're not gonna pay you, because we're not gonna pay for anybody that was in slavery. So what that does is technically, you go back to being a slave as a black person. And everybody from that point on are descendants of slaves and are slaves. You are categorized as slaves. That is one of the ways they treat you the way they treat you, or they treat us the way they treat us, because we are slaves. Now, that don't sound kosher. I'm gonna tell you how you can become a slave. When you got off the plantation based on the Emancipation Proclamation, you no longer was on that man's property. And then the United States had promised them that they were going to get paid if they approved this Emancipation Proclamation. And they approved it. So when they did the Compensation Emancipation Proclamation, they said, we're not paying you shit. So now that means you're back in slavery. And how do I deduct that? Let's say you go to Walmart, you got a lot of shit in your basket, and you get to the door, they want to check your receipt. And you accidentally put that laptop in your basket. You didn't try to do it. It just fell in there when you was over there looking at the iPads. So now you get up to the door and they scanning your shit. They say, you didn't pay for this. Oh, I didn't know it. So here, take it back. So you give it back to them so they can put it back in stock. Picture yourself as property, because that's what you were, property at that time. So if you don't pay for it, then you got to give it back. But, they're not going to do that. So they came out with the 13th Amendment, which talks about one of the sections in the 13th Amendment says you will never be a United States citizen. Ain't that some shit? And then they came out with the 14th Amendment, and the 14th Amendment was not for us. It was for them, the white folks. It readmitted all the southern states into the United States fold. Carte blanche. They put them back into the United States without a single penalty. All officers, all slaves, all enlisted men, all soldiers, anybody that fought against the North, you're forgiven. You are forgiven, and you are now part of us. And in return was that payment that never occurred. That's what the 14th Amendment did. It readmitted the southern states back into the United States, forming the United States. There's some drugs out here right now that's killing people fast as you can say I. One way you can be safe, you stay off of these different places, or you don't take things that you don't have a label on, and you read that label. It's called Zaling. Oh, and the nickname for it is Trank. You can call it Trank. It's killing a lot of people. That NICAD thing that they have produced and put in everywhere you can find, it does not help if you took that horse tranquilizer. You're going to die. Don't be curious with this drug, because it's killing people fast as you can think about it. Cruise ships nowadays are having outbreaks of COVID. You know, in 2023, 791 people have caught COVID on a cruise ship. So if you plan on taking a cruise, take plenty masks because you need to protect yourself. And you know, the other week, these people went to the Titanic and they died. They said that the craft that they were in imploded, which, you know, the thing was so rudimental that you got to be a damn fool to pay $250,000 a head to go down there to the Titanic. What the hell you want to see the Titanic for? Not one black person never been down to the damn Titanic to see it, because it just don't make sense to us. We ain't going no damn 2,000, 3,000 feet underwater to see the damn Titanic. Trump getting ready to go to court again. He's discussing top secret documents with people. They got him on recordings. He's begging for votes. They're going to get him, but, you know, it takes a long time. You have to do the right thing. DeSantis said if he makes president, he's going to revoke the birthright law. That's basically saying if you're born in America, you're a partial citizen of the United States of America. And because of that, you are, if he win the presidency, he'll revoke that birthright that you have now. In God we trust in every Louisiana school. They're making it one way. Mississippi done come up, y'all. Mississippi is ranking up in the top tier with reading and math. That's a damn good thing, because a couple of years ago, they were at the bottom. At the bottom. Right now, $200 billion. $200 billion went missing from those PPP loans and the SBA. They are trying to find $200 billion. They've prosecuted over 800 people and sentenced over 800 people. So if you got a PPP loan and you got it fraudulently, expect them to come after you, because they always come after the little guy first. They get the little guy first. Don't forget our young brother that was on that subway, the Michael Jackson impersonator that was killed by Daniel Penn. He put that boy in a headlock, a choke lock, which we have strived to ban from police departments, and then he get to do it for free. He get to choke that boy out. He held him for minutes, cutting off his circulation, cutting off his air, cutting off his blood to his brain, and he killed him. Now, if they let that man off, Daniel Penn, if they let Daniel Penn off for killing the Michael Jackson impersonator, what's her name? Neely. If they let him off for killing Neely, something's wrong with that picture. We see the two justice systems that they use here in America. These two justice systems is the detriment of America. America will have to do right by us one of these days, because as long as they don't do right by us, God ain't gonna do right by them. That's why this heat is kicking ass all over the country right now. Tornadoes are every damn where. Hurricanes are about to get started around August and September. Tornadoes tore this country apart in the last 3 months. Just tornadoes, hundreds of tornadoes. People are being torn out of their homes and they ain't getting no help. Some books in the Bible, were removed, like Galatians, Exodus, Jeremiah, and all these books talked about the power of Black people. There are 4 sections in the Bible where they tell you to honor your master. And though, the masters of the slave plantation made sure you read those passages. Well, not that you read them, they read them to you. They read the passages in the Bible and they convinced you that this is the religion that you will have on my plantation. So he made the Black people accept his religion because we had our own religion, what my ancestors did when they came here, or if we were already here. There's a picture I want to show you. And this picture tells you about how the country used to be formed, how the world used to be formed. Now, I don't know if you can look at it and see the United States over there. If you look at the United States right now and you look at Africa right now, you can see how the United States would fit into Africa. You can also see how Brazil would go into Africa. This is called Pangea. Now, here it is. I'm showing you that it's one land, one mass, all of it. From Congo to Brazil to the United States to Mexico to Canada to Greenland, Iran, Iraq, Libya, Nigeria. All of this is just one land. Thousands of years ago now. This is thousands of years ago. So when the tectonic plates decided to move, you'll see the United States moving over to the position where it is right now. But if you look at it on this map, you'll see where the United States matches up with Morocco. Morocco is the home of the Moors. So now the United States has separated from Africa. Brazil has separated from Africa. Canada and Mexico went with the United States, separating from Africa. The tectonic plates were moving. I don't know what they call it, subduction or something like that. I had it in school many, many years ago. So when the United States made it over to its final resting place, there was the Atlantic Ocean between them. But my point about showing you Pangea is to show that there were Africans all over that big ass continent. All over that continent. So do you think that all the Africans that were on the United States, Mexico, Brazil, Canada side, they all ran back to Africa because this whole landmass was moving? They jumped ship, jumped back over on the other land, hell to the no. They didn't do that. So what does that mean? That means those areas that the United States, Mexico, Brazil, Canada moved with people, moved away from Africa, populated with people. Not no damn pilgrims. That's some bullshit if I ever heard it. The Pilgrims met more than the Indians. Talking about some damn corn and all that bullshit. All this stuff is a farce. Every single thing. You know why New Year's is so important to America? Do you know the origin of New Year's? The origin of New Year's is when the slaves were sold, traded, or bargained with to clear debt of the plantation owners. We celebrate New Year's every year for that shit. Every damn year for that shit that originated with the plantation owners taking your children and trading them to another plantation. That's what we do. That's how we did it. It is not right. America has not given us the formal apology, and the formal apology don't have to be money. Thing is, you don't have to give the black people money, and I don't speak for everybody. What you should do is not tax the black people again. You should cut all taxes from blacks in America because you owe us something. You don't want to give us no damn land that you stole. You don't want to give us no money that you made off our backs. They made these rich people, these millionaires I was telling you about in Congress, their ancestors made money on cotton, soybeans, what's the other one? Corn, and one other product, I don't know it. But that's how they made their money. And they made the money because they could. They had slaves. So now why can't we get some type or some form of compensation? It doesn't have to be money, like I said. We're all in this together. White people, black people, Mexican people, all the people are in it together. God starts to punish the world. He's not going to pick and choose black people, white people. He's going to punish the entire land. So it's very, very important that we get them to do what they're supposed to do so God can lighten up on us. There's too many people dying here in this country. There's been so many mass shootings. There's been over 450 mass shootings in America this year. Now, how do you stop all these mass shootings? You really can't because you don't want to. You're enjoying this shit. I'm talking about America. And they enjoy it because it makes money for America. It makes great headlines for Congress. Oh, we're going to act and we're going to pass some damn law restriction on guns. They're going to take away your Second Amendment rights. All that bullshit that hypes up every time right after a mass shooting. They talk about how they're going to change this and change that, and 2 weeks pass and everybody done forgot about it. The news don't report on it no more. So they don't give a shit about that. All them kids got killed in Uvalde, them sorry-ass police officers down there. It's bad. The only way they're gonna correct these shootings. Now it's white folks doing the shootings. Well, black folk here and there, but white folks are 98% the ones who did the shooting. But the only way you stop them from shooting is you give the black folks the opportunity. You have redlined us in certain sections of every single major city. In San Antonio, it is the east side. You have branded the east side, so black people are scrambling to get the hell off the east side. They're selling your parents' properties. They're taking the money and running. And now you're paying rent when you had owned that damn house, but that white man came in there and dangled $30,000 in your face and you took it. Shortchanging yourself from one end to the other one, A to Z. Now you go back over there and you see your house been redone. They want $290,000 for it. And they gonna sell it too. Somebody gonna buy it. That was your house. You gave it up. Don't sell your property. You got to have some land somewhere. You gotta have a piece of land, because if you don't have anywhere to go, you're in a bad way. You gotta have a piece of land. That's why we have so many people homeless, because they don't have a piece of land. It's a lot. The Supreme Court denied the student loan that Biden was trying to pass. I mean, they denied it wholeheartedly. And you know, my favorite man, Clarence Thomas, with his no good ass, he was the one leading the damn pack on not paying off nobody's school loan. It ain't but $10,000, goddamn. Bitching about every damn thing. These damn people in Congress don't want to get a black folks shit. And I bet that's why they didn't do it, because black folks were going to get it too. Because we're the one populating these universities for right now. But that shit going to change. And it's going to change because they have removed the race factor from admittance in colleges. So now colleges don't have to put no black people in their college. It's going to go back to the way it was. And that's what's happening here in America. We are reverting back to what it was. And it's just a matter of time before they start ratcheting it up again on black people. They have killed hundreds of black people already, but it's died down a little bit. But it's going to ratchet back up because what the police are doing now, the 1,800 police stations in this country, what they are doing is they're taking that military equipment and training on it and learning how to control riots. You remember when Nelson Mandela got out of jail and they brought them big ass tan trucks in there and was firing on all these innocent people, and all they had was rocks and sticks and stones, but they were using bullets, just killing black people. It's happening here too, and it ain't happened yet, but it's going to, because they are so antsy to kill somebody. It's a damn shame. It's sad. College do not have to have a need to consider race anymore. Ketanji Jackson went head up with Clarence Thomas on that issue, but many other Supreme Court justices said no. There was a company up there that refused to serve the LGBTQ community. They didn't want to make a cake for the LGBTQ. And they stood their ground. They didn't do it. They said, I'm not going to do it. We're not going to do it. So this case has made it all the way to the Supreme Court, the United States Supreme Court. And the United States Supreme Court said, I ain't hearing that bullshit. They don't even want to hear it. So the ruling stands. The Supreme Court did rule on it, and they said no business has the obligation to serve somebody they don't want to serve. If you go to Mississippi and look at the prison statistics, you're going to see that 64% of the people incarcerated are black. Now, how many people have been exonerated from prison over the last 10 years? Probably 1,000 or more. People put black people in jail on trumped up charges, on forced admission under duress. They put black people in jail on bullshit. Life sentences for stealing a damn sneaker bar or snatching somebody's purse. That's cruel and unusual. And then you go, like Emmett Till jury was all white. What do you think they're going to do with the Bryant man? They're going to release him for killing that boy. They're killing kids now. They are killing our kids. We have to make sure our kids are not out in the street with guns. Because if they out in the streets, they got a gun. You can rest assured. If you see kids in the streets 9, 10 o'clock at night, they have guns on them or guns around them. And they're just waiting for somebody to shoot. Donald Trump still running for president. He's still campaigning, but they don't care. They don't care that he's a convict. They don't care that he's been proved as a racist. Why is he not on the national registry for pedophiles and rapists? That's where Donald Trump needs to be. Why ain't nobody talking about putting them on that list? You know, June 19 has come and gone. Now we're in July. We're almost at the end of that month. But we have to remember June 19th, especially in Texas. The day the slaves were released in Texas is June 19th, but the Emancipation Proclamation was issued January 1st, 1863. The slaves were released in Texas on June 19th, 1863. So how come Texas gets 6 months of extra labor and they don't have to pay for it? Just like I was saying, if you didn't pay for that thing in your basket, you got to put it back over there. They take it back. Same situation. June 19th coming again next year. I'm gonna put this out every time, at least once a month. We need to stop spending for a day. We basically will not participate in the American economy for one day. That's all we need to do. One day, we are not going to participate, and let's make that day June 19th. We're no longer in physical slavery, y'all. But I'll be goddamn if we ain't in mental slavery. We are locked down on shit that these people taught us, and we have called it our traditions, and we continue to perpetuate ignorance. It is ignorance because your parents did it, their parents did it, their parents did it, and the white man made the slave do it. And you still doing it. You're still doing it. You need to get back to your roots. You are now what they were then. You're not black. You're not African American. You're not Negro. You're not colored. Those are all given names. You can't tie those names to a damn thing. No nationality is the problem, people. You need to get your nationality straight. Stop participating for that one day. Let's show America how many billions of dollars we can keep out of the economy. All those black people in prison that have been wrongly accused are trying their damnedest to get out of prison. They're writing everybody. They're writing lawyers. They're writing judges. All they want is somebody to take up their case. All they want is somebody to just look at their case and see how it was coerced or made to be the way it is by crooked ass police officers. How can they be the original slave catchers, and now we respect them as police officers? That protect and serve bullshit ain't nothing but bullshit. The police are descendants of slave catchers, and they trying to do that shit today. That's why 64% of inmates in Mississippi are black. Think about it. This is the Black News Network broadcasting the War Report. I don't own the rights to the music, but I do own the rights to what I say. Please like us and subscribe to our channel on YouTube, the Black News Network. And like us on Facebook. Send a comment. If you want to talk about a particular topic, let me know. We'll get that topic in there. But thank you all. Thank you for reviewing this broadcast.
If it's a corporation and you are a citizen slash member of a corporation, there's nothing for you to be but a employee slash servant.